Hey guys, happy Monday! I'm excited to have you guys popping in here tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits, and I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central to relax and craft and hang out with you guys and chit-chat and make stuff. So tonight, guys, we are starting a new project. We are going to work on the Travel Art Folio. It's flipped around for you guys now, but it's the Travel Art Folio by Patty Young of Modkid. I'm super excited to do this. Hey Vanessa, hey Mary, thanks for coming in. I love trying new things. I love testing myself and working in areas that I don't know very well. I just love the idea of learning, and it just expands like all the magic tricks you can do. So that's what tonight will be. We are going to start out with cutting. So if you haven't cut yours out yet, that is perfectly fine. I am going to spend the whole evening here cutting. And I gotta tell you, cutting is my scariest part for me, always for a new project. So feel free to yell out if I'm about to do something crazy or wrong or whatever, but we will read through the instructions and do this together. So I'm excited to get going. If you guys wanted to participate, I know some of you have the kits and the pattern already, so you can get started tonight. I did put a link to the Travel Art Folio pattern, the PDF downloadable pattern, in the description box here, so you can click on that and get that from Patty. And I also put a link to her Facebook group as well. So, oh, scary for you too, Susan. We will do it together, this cutting. And the other thing about cutting is it's always the thing in my head that's not really a step. It's like, oh, cutting. You know, the big thing is you just start sewing, right? But I always, once I start cutting, I always realize again that, oh, this is an important step. It takes time, and you just gotta let it be part of the process. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. Oh, you're all spread out and ready to go, Deborah? Perfect. All right, I'm gonna flip you around. Let's get started. Thanks for joining, guys. Okay, here we are tonight. So I purchased one of the kits that was available. So I do have, so the kit came with 3/4 yards of 2 fabrics. So here's my fabric. Hey Anna, hey Deborah, thanks guys for joining. I got this cute fabric. This is Patty's fabric, so the Modkid fabric. I just love this because it's got those 2 little crickets, or not crickets, I'm calling them crickets. They're grasshoppers though, I think. But in my brain, they're crickets because that's what summer is to me. You got the crickets going at night. And then my second fabric is this really pretty orange. Oh, I think my camera's changing its color a little bit, but it's this really pretty orange, yellow gold with some red. It kind of reminds me of tiles, so I think that's fun. The other things that we have are an elastic piece and Velcro, and an 8-inch elastic, a 10-inch Velcro. Aren't they cute? And we have some fusible fleece. So this is fleecy on one side, and it is got kind of those sticky pellets that iron on the other side. And then we have some medium weight fusible interfacing as well. So luckily these came with the kit. However, they are available at Joann's or online. You can get them. So if you do want the pattern, the PDF pattern, again, it's linked in this description. It has all the items you need listed on there before you purchase it, I believe. So you can check that out and see what you can get. All right, so let's look at the instructions here. I gave the cutting instructions a look over, and here it's just interesting. Interesting how different people do describe how to do different things. So I think I got this figured out. So the main thing to look at, I think, one of the main points is this. The ones with the star, you can see some of these have stars on them. The ones with the stars are the contrasting fabric. So we can look at the front. We got kind of our main fabric here and our contrasting fabric here. So I'm gonna use the grasshoppers as my main fabric. That's this green. And I'm gonna use, this is kind of like the little flap. I'm gonna use this orange for the contrasting fabric. So I'm going to write right in here that my contrasting fabric is orange. Just to, oh yeah, Jenna, I saw that too. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So Anna, yeah, from her site, when she doesn't have the kits available anymore, but we were able to pick from her latest collection. But you can use whatever fabric you like if you're doing it yourself with the PDF pattern. All right, so right away, like I said, the ones with the star is the contrasting fabric. I'm going to circle all the parts on here that have that star, just so I have a visual reminder that these are the ones that are the contrasting fabric, so I don't accidentally cut it out of the other fabric. So there we go. So now I know that this main panel is going to be the green, and the pouch flap is going to be the green, and then everything else that I circled is going to be this orange. So that's where I'm starting off here. Okay, so let's read through this. The main panels, that's my green. You know what I think I might do? I have some scrap paper here. I think I'm going to write down, oh, my scrap paper is kitty calendar. The backs of kitty calendars. But I just want to write down the dimensions that I need for the green and for the orange, just because I'm a little nervous. This is the part where I get nervous with the cutting stage. I'm always nervous that I'm going to cut the wrong way and not have enough fabric. So I want to just write down what the dimensions are just to make sure I can do it right. So we need a 28 by 12 inch. And we need 2 of those. So we need another 28 by 12 inch. Then the other thing is the pouch flap. We need 4 inch by 10 inch. And then we need an additional 4 inch by 10 inch. So, okay, let's take a look at the fabric here. So talking about directional fabric, that Jenna just mentioned. What that means, what directional and non-directional fabric means is a directional fabric works best in a certain direction. You can't flip it around and rotate it still, whereas a non-directional, you can flip it and you never know. So this is a non-directional fabric. You know, I can flip it this way and no side is right side up, or no side is the up or down or left to right. It works any way. This, however, is kind of directional, right? Because we have these, I keep wanting to say crickets, but they're grasshoppers. We have these grasshoppers that in theory, you know, you want to have it sit this way. It's just not the same when you do it this way, although this is awfully pretty too, sideways. And then, you know, if you go this way, then it's upside down, right? So this is more of a directional fabric. This pattern recommended on the back, like if you're choosing fabric for yourself, it is recommended non-directional. And here's kind of why. I'm looking at this first cut that I need to make on here. I need 2 pieces that are 28 inches by 12 inches. And I'm thinking this is the 12-inch side, and then this is the 28-inch side. So the 12-inch side is gonna, you know, in theory, we want it directional. So in theory, we want it going the grasshopper's right side up on the front instead of going sideways. However, I don't have enough fabric to do my 28 this direction, because if we do 28 this way, then once I fold it up, then in theory, you know, once the whole bit gets folded up, then my guys are in the right direction. But I don't have 28 inches here. It's like right on the cusp. I have it's like 27 3/4 about, but once I trim it down, then I won't have the 28 inches. So unfortunately, I cannot cut it this way to get my 28 inches. So therefore, it's going to go this way ultimately. So when it's done, my my crickets and stuff will be going sideways. But that's okay. I think I'm fine with that. I'm actually probably going to store this like a book. So I'm probably going to actually store it this way anyway. So that actually, I might want to make a note. I want the grasshoppers, like I want this side up and down, so that when I store it on a shelf, the grasshoppers will be up. So that's a little bit about directional fabric if you are dealing with that as well. I only need one green that size. I think I need cut two of fabric. So here's the first instruction. The main panels, the outer and inner. These are the 28 inches by 12 inches high. So I need to cut 2 of the fabric and cut 1 of the fusible fleece and 1 of the fusible medium to 28 by 12. So I actually need 2 of the green panels. And what I think that's going to be is, here we go. It's going to be the front piece, which, you know, folds up, so it's like 3 fronts. And then it's actually this back piece. So if you remove all this green, this is going to be one of the other pieces here. So it is 2 of the same color. And regardless, I'd still have to double it up and do the 2. So, all right, I'm going to start out here. So we will cut, all right, so like I said, this way, going, just trimming off the selvage, that's not long enough. So I am going to cut the full 42 inches here. And from the 42 inches, let's see, here's where I need to draw it out again. So we have a piece that's, see, I have to get all into this for the cutting. Read it again. I've already done it, and 1 is the front and 1 is the back. The inside photo, yeah, so you'd have 1 is the outside, and yeah, this 1's going this way, and then there's flaps in front of it, and then the outside one here. Look at it, the inside photo. Yeah, so I think we're right. I want the green here and the green on the outside. So I don't know. I'm just gonna go by this. It says cut 2 of the fabric, the 28 by 12 high, and that, you know, my ones with the stars is the one that's the opposite. I don't know, Rosalie, we're going to give it a try this way, and if it's wrong, I can just use the other fabric and my colors will just be off. That's okay. So this is about 42. So, all right, I can cut my 28-inch pieces. I can cut 2 12-inch pieces across, wait, let me see if I have this right. Oh, no, here, like this. Because 12 divided by 22, I can go like this. So then I can have a 12 here and a 12 here and a little bit extra. And this will go 28 inches. All right. All right, so I'm gonna open this up. And we should probably give this a little press. So let's do that first. The flap that gets put on the inside are the other colors. Let's see, the flap that gets put on the inside. Yeah, the flap that gets put on the inside. Yeah, so here are the pieces that I'm cutting out now. It's this outside, it's this inside full thing, and then I'll also be cutting this little flap. That's what this pouch flap is. So the inside, outside, and the pouch flap are all gonna be this color. So let's give that a little press. All right, Amy, we will get it together. Don't worry. you know, that's kind of the funny thing about doing this live and on, and this is actually the whole reason why I wanted to do other designers' projects, because I love learning new things, and I learn a ton along the way. And you know what? If I make a mistake, like with this cutting or whatever, then it's a mistake, and I can live with it. So, you know, if you want to make mistakes with me, then feel free to join me in making those mistakes. But if you want to wait to the end as well, till we're done with this project and see what's going on, then, you know, that's fine as well. All right, I'm going to just do this one side here. Let's get the other side. Yeah, the stars. Handles, pencil divider. Here's the pencil divider, handles, paper pad holder, which is there, crayon divider, pouch main, which is this flap here, and outer flap, which is this. So yeah, so I think we're still right here, Rosalie. I don't know. I think this is still it. Yeah, you'll have to show us, Rosalie, show us in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group when you're done here. I'd love to see. And if you guys aren't in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group, there's a link in the post. You can find it there. So, okay, I'm going to cut it how I'm interpreting these instructions, and we'll just see how it goes. So, all right, here is my 27-inch side. So this is where I want to cut. I'm going to cut this to 28 inches here. Oops, you guys can't see. You can make enough mistakes on your own. Oh, funny. Yep, I hear you, Bonnie. So I'm going to cut 28 inches, or my 28-inch piece, and then I'm going to cross-cut two 12-inch pieces. So first of all, I'm going to fold this in half because it's kind of big. I don't have enough space on my cutting board. All right, and I will trim it, and then we will cut the 28 inches. And I'm cutting all these pieces by themselves, really. I'm not going to cut the, I suppose I could cut the interface and all that at the same time, but that kind of scares me a little bit, so we're going to do it this way. All right, just matching up these top ends. So let me know, guys, what is your scariest part of a project? We are living through mine right now. It's the measuring and making sure I am cutting correctly. So that's always kind of funny. All right, I'm going to trim this straight edge here, cutting off the selvage, and then I'm going to be measuring my 28 inches. Cutting wrong, that's your scariest too, Marjorie. Yep, that is one of mine for sure. After that, it's easy peasy, right? For the most part. So, all right, trimming, so I have this nice edge. All right, so I need the full length of my cutting board here. Let's just measure here. So I need, this is 24. I'm going to just mark it. I'm going to fold this up. So here I've put my finger at 24 inches. All right, let's just set it here. I need it to be 28. I might cut a little bit bigger and then trim. So 24, let's line everything up so it's nice and smooth again. 24. Oh, cutting doesn't scare you, but it's your least favorite. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. All right, and I am gonna go just a teeny hair over just in case I need to trim them a little bit later. So I'm just adding 1/4 inch on just because I did have to move it around, kind of funny here. All right, here we go. This feels awfully scary to me still. Yeah, 28, and then we're gonna cut this way 12. Yep, we're doing it. There we are, cut it. All right. And then we need our 2 12-inch pieces. So now it's 28 inches this way. I'm gonna fold it in half so I can more easily cut my 12-inch pieces out of here, just because I am using got a small cutting surface. So these edges should match up pretty well. Let's go this way. Kitty scratch it. That's what I call it, kitty scratching. Sometimes it's hard to lift up a fabric and put it exactly along the line of fabric underneath. So if you just scratch a little, scratch the top a little, it lines everything up really well. So, okay, now I got that bottom lined up. Let's get it on one of the rule lines here. And we will trim our edge, and then we'll do 2 12-inch pieces. Oh, and I think Patty just joined us here, so maybe she can she can yell at us if I start doing something wrong. All right, I'm going to trim the edge here quick. You like cutting? Oh, you find it relaxing. You know what? If it's a project that I'm familiar with, I think cutting would be a little bit more relaxing, but you know, I don't know. Cutting's just not my thing. All right, and then 12 inches, and I have this large kind of 12.5-inch ruler, so I'm gonna just throw that on there just to make sure I'm getting this square. 12.5. I always feel like I have to count every space on the ruler to make sure that I'm getting that correct too, but I'm gonna trust that this is actually a 12.5-inch ruler. So, all right, popping up my other ruler against that ruler. Then we can move this one away. Oops, I shimmied a little bit. We do have 1/2-inch seam allowances for this, so the fact that I just I veered off my cut a little bit there, that's gonna be okay. So this is our first 12 by 28-inch piece. So when it's folded up as the finished guy, it'll be like this. So 2 up like that, and then folded like that. So then our little handle will, oh, actually like this. So our handle will go up on the top here. And then when we open the handle, then we can open it up, and it'll be there. Oh, I hope your trip went well, Patty. So, all right, that's our first piece. So next up, I'm leaving everything right where it is. Oh, actually, no, I can't because it'll go off my cutting board. So I'm gonna very carefully shimmy these down the line here a bit. So this edge should be square. Nice, a nice cut here and a nice cut at the bottom here. So I'm gonna line them up on my cutting board best I can. It's a good guide, and then I'm gonna finish up by doing another 12 inches, and then we will have our first 2 pieces. There we go. Oh, using the yellow flowers and the green bugs. Green bugs. I don't know. I found that. I don't think I've said bugs in a while. I like that. All right. And then I think this will just be excess. So there is, I think there's plenty of fabric provided, because I have a whole thing left, and all I need from this yet is 2 4-inch by 10-inch pieces, so I can get that right from here probably. So no problem with the amount of fabric. So yeah, so here is our 2 28-inch pieces. So from what it looks like to me, this is like the outside piece, you know, that gets folded up. And then it's also, the other piece is the whole big rectangle of this that's kind of hiding out in the background. So that will be this piece. So actually when we open it up, the direction will be going correct. So yeah, so it'll be like this. So we're folding up our little kit, and there it is. We unfold it, and it's got the same background, but it has a bunch of flaps on it that are the other fabric. So these guys go on top of the background to make this, you know, to make these little guys there. So, all right, looks good so far. And if your cuts are a little bit off, no biggie. It's super easy. High mistakes in this pattern. Awesome. That is great news. So that's direct from the designer's mouth. That sounds good to me. Oh gosh, I just kind of want to pet these little guys. Okay, so far so good. So while we're at it, the fusible fleece and the there's the fusible medium weight interfacing. Those both get 1 each of this size as well. So while we're working huge here, let's get it all done at once. So here are these 2 pieces. Oh, and you know what? There was a good tip in here. Good tip. Label all these rectangle pieces. Sticky notes work great. Well, I got a whole pile of more kitty calendars here for scraps. So I'm going to label this one. I think this is important. Labeling, then you can use your brain less later, which is awesome. Sucks using your brain. Okay, main panels. The outer and inner. So that's just, that's what we just cut here. So I'm gonna just get the old mini wonder clips out, and I will clip that right onto one of the edges here. So now when I stack this up and we cut the other pieces, I won't forget and get way confused later and have to remeasure everything. Actually, I have to remember that I cut this at 28.5 inches. I should maybe trim that down here. I have to make a note to myself. Remeasure to 28 inches. Because I remember I cut it a little bit big because, you know, it's been kind of a small space here, and I wanted to make sure I didn't cut it too small. So now that those pieces are smaller, it'll be easier for me to trim it to the 28. So I can't forget to do that. But all right, let's get these guys. Move my extra fabric out of the way. Okay, so 28 by 12 of both of these. So these I think I'm going to stack on top of each other. Oh, okay. So how big are these right now? I have my little tape ruler so I can quickly measure things. So this is, well, 20 inches. So that makes it for sure that I have to go this way. So that's going to be the 12-inch side. So I think I'm going to just cut 12 inches here. I don't think I need fusible. Oh, I do need a little bit more fusible fleece, but I don't need any more of this. So this is okay if I, you know, have extra here. I think I am going to just cut these out one at a time just for my own sanity. So this, I need the 20-inch by 12, 28-inch by 12. And this is, yeah, 28 about. So let's get a good edge on here first. So I have the fold lined up on one of these lower edges. I'm going to trim this, and then I'm going to cut my 12. Then I'll rotate it sideways, and we will cut the 28. And I think we can just divide 28 by 2, which is 14, and I can just cut a 14 piece the other way. And then when it's unfolded, we'll have the 28. There we go. Now I got math working for me. All right, so I'm going to align this on the 12-inch mark and the bottom fold here. So we'll have a nice square cut. I know, isn't that green fabric pretty? It's so like saturated, and that bright pink with it I think is just such a pretty combo. All right, again, I've put my ruler up against there just because, you know, then I can keep cutting with my right hand. Okay, and this is scrap. I don't need any more, it looks like, from the instructions. And then we need to make sure this is 28 inches. So what I'm going to do is, there's a fold right here. So we got our 12 inches. We need it 28. So I'm going to put that fold on an edge here on one of the rule lines and this bottom on one of the rule lines. And then I'm going to measure the 14 inches. So actually I can just look at the markers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so it's just a little tish cut off here. I'm gonna just trim it based on my ruler. Not gonna worry about getting the other ruler out. But let's just double check. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, and 14 times 2 is 28. Let's double check that that's what I'm cutting. 28, okay. Check twice or measure twice, cut once, sort of deal. All right, so there, the two rough edges are off there. And now we have our 28-inch by 12-inch piece of our fusible web here. I'm gonna set that aside. And we have to cut one more of those out of the fusible fleece. So we do need more of this fusible fleece, so I have to make sure that I have enough. I need, cut 2 fabric and 1. I need another 5-inch by 8-inch piece of it. So that shouldn't be, we should have plenty for that, I'm thinking. Yeah, so I think we're gonna do the same thing we did earlier. So let's just quickly, oh yeah, this is only 18 inches. So this is where we'll get our, we'll have to do the 12-inch this way. So same deal. Let's put it this way. I'm gonna trim the edge, cut my 12-inch, and I'll cut that other piece out of here right away. Oh, hey, Ashley, we are starting the Travel Art Folio project by Patty Young of Modkid. I have a link to the PDF in the description box here if you're wondering. This is a whole new thing for me. I've maybe done one other structured bag-like thing before. You can lay the cut fabric piece over the interfacing and, oh, check that tip. Okay, we're gonna do that. You can lay the cut fabric piece over the interfacing and fleece to cut them instead of measuring every time. Okay, see, that's a good tip. So I can, actually I have this one cut already. So what Patty's saying is what I could have done, and I'm doing it here, is you can lay your cut piece on top of your other piece, and then you don't have to measure every single time. So I kind of love that. I'm so used to, I think, the Splendid Sampler when we were so picky on our measuring, or I don't know, maybe this seems scary to me to have to do it this way, but it makes so much sense. So, all right, now I have it lined up. I'm gonna skip the ruler and I'm going to just put this along my piece that I already have here. Well, let's just get a good edge first. I like it. See, I'm already learning stuff, guys. That's what I love most about crafting is just gaining all these extra little tips and tidbits and, you know, trying new things. There, so now I took that piece of interfacing that I just cut. You're all about time-saving techniques. That's awesome. All right, we're gonna learn all of the time-saving techniques on this project. So, all right, instead of using the ruler to, you know, mark my 12 inches a bunch of times, man, anything to make the cutting process faster too, because that's always the scary part. So I am still lining up my fold at the bottom along the line. And I'm still double checking that this is pretty square before I cut. But in general, right there. Yep, so this should do it. I'm gonna move this guy out of the way and we will trim that up. Nope, I am using Patty, who she's in here right now, the designer of the pattern that we're doing, the Travel Art Folio. This is her new line that's in stores right now. All right, so we got that side cut. We still need to trim it to the 14 inches. So let's lay this guy on top of here again and trim this to 14 inches, so unfolded it will be the 28 inches. Perfect, this is great. This is going faster for sure, laying that other one on top. So there we go, it's still on top, and I'm gonna just trim them kind of both at once. Wonderful. All right, oh, didn't get it all. I hate when that happens. There we go. All right, so there we go. We have all of our pieces for that main, what was that called? The main panels, outer and inner. So we got our interfacing, our fusible fleece. Oh, and yes, the fusible fleece is fuzzy. It's only fuzzy on one side though. It is squishy. It's kind of thick and squishy. It's soft on the one side, and then it's got that fusible, like little pellets here. I can show you guys up close. So here's, it's soft on one side. Oh, look, I got ink all over my finger today. And it's got the pellets, that fusible pellet stuff on the other side. And the same thing with this. It's kind of just got that interfacing texture on one, and then the other side's got like those little heat pellets or something. All right. So we got these guys already. That is step one. Now we did need a little bit more of this, so I'm gonna cut that right away, and then I can remove all of this all together. And let's see, that was cut 2 of fabric and 1 of fusible. Okay, so I need a 5" by 8" piece of this yet. So do I have 5 inches here? I think I have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just barely. So let's trim an 8" piece out of this larger side here, and then I'll cross cut that to the 5 inches. And you know what, I'm just gonna use my board. So we cut that, so that's still nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We get paranoid. All right, 8". This is scrap. Don't need this anymore. We'll use that for another project. And oh, I turned it already. And then 5 inches here. So this is kind of the rough looking edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. So this is for, there was that one extra piece we needed. So this is for the outer flap. But I'm going to jump ahead to the other time that we use the green fabric, because then I can put all the green fabric away. You know what? Before I do that, I'm going to start my label for this. because I'm already going to forget what this is for. Outer flap. Let's wonder clip that together. Oh, I missed. There we go. And you know what? I didn't, just because I like clipping things, let's clip this whole bit together. This whole thing is the main panels. There we go. All right, outer flap started. Throwing it to the side for now. And then let's do the other green piece. So the other green piece, which is in an area that doesn't have a star, it's this pouch flap. I need 2 of them, 2 4-inch by 10-inch pieces. Okay, 2 4-inch by 10-inch pieces. So what do we got left here? Is this 10 inches? Can I get 10 inches this way? I sure can. So let's trim that. And then I will, oh man, I already forgot what I was doing. 4 inches high, 10 inches wide. So yeah, so then I will, I only need 1. I don't need double. $10 inches. Oh wait, no I do. Sorry guys, I'm confusing myself. We will trim the edge to make that good, and then we'll cut this 4 inches, and then we'll cross cut it to 10 inches, and then we'll have our 2 pieces. That sounds right. We're getting it. It'll save so much time and frustration to have those labeled. It will for sure. If there's one thing I've learned, that is definitely the case. The more you can help your brain out from not having to work, the better. So labeling everything, you know, like if you're doing a quilt, numbering your rows, for example, is really super duper helpful. So at this point, I'm not really worried about what direction the pattern is going. I'm just gonna do it however it ends up. All right, you know what? I'm gonna get this other ruler out. So we need 4 inches here. I just kind of find the double ruler method helpful. So I can measure the 4 inches there, hold it down, bop it right against it. And here we go. And if you guys are looking for the fabric, like if you haven't gotten the pattern yet, but you want this same fabric, it's the Primavera collection by Patty Young for Riley Blake. So all right, now I'm going to cut the 10 inches out of both of these. I'm going to use all my rulers tonight. I like this little one better. So I'm just going to trim this edge. All right, and then we will measure 10 inches. Okay. So this will be our 10-inch by 4-inch piece. We'll have 2 of them right away. Okay, there we go. Oh, what I maybe should have done is fussy cut them so my crickets were in the middle, but I kind of like this shape here. That's really pretty. So all right, 2 pieces here. I didn't press these. I can press them in a little bit, but let's have that labeled. So this is the pouch flap, and this is all we need for this. So the pouch flap, I believe, is this cute little piece here on the inside. So pouch flap. Gotta get my paper out again. See what this kitty is. Cute. This is what I write on the back of these calendars, is what I write my to-do list every day on. My old calendar bits. So pouch flap. Great. We will clip those two. Here we are. Losing stuff already. All right, add that to my pile. So here we are so far. This is what's going to be so nice. I can just look, all right, here are all the different pieces, all labeled, ready to go. All right. So we are completely done with the green fabric. And look, I have a whole pile of it left. So if you guys are working on this project from the kit or from the measurements that are suggested, the 3/4 yard, you should have plenty left over. So that's awesome. I gotta make another project out of all this extra. So that's great. Done with that fabric. So now all that we have left, since we're also done with the interfacing, is this fabric here. So let's see I'm gonna label like how we did before, just because it helps me. I'm gonna write down all the sizes of this fabric just so I can get a picture of how I need to cut it out of this piece of fabric. So I need cut 2 of fabric and one that are 8 by 5 inch and another 8 by 5 inch. So this is the same as our outer flap. So I'm going to get that out again. And then we need one that's 14 by 10. Yeah, 14 by 10 for the main pouch. Cut one 6 by 10. This is great too because we can see a lot of these numbers repeat, so we might be able to cut it a lot easier. 21 by 10. So we need a whole lot of 10-inch things. 12 by 10. And cut one piece that's 4 inches by 32. Okay, so this is why it's good to read over all the instructions first, because this is a really long edge here. So we might want to cut this one first. We'll cut this one first to make sure that we get that whole length probably, and then we'll cut the rest out of here. I think that's probably a good idea. So, all right. Then these 10-inch ones, we could just cross-cut a bunch of 10 inches and, cut, yeah, and then trim these out of them maybe. All right, we'll unfold this. Working in my big area again. It's always, or my small area is always, with big fabric is always a little bit of a trick. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of leave it folded here yet. So from here to here is our 42 inches around. I'm going to just cut out, let's fold it up again. I'm going to cut my 4-inch by 32-inch piece for the handles first, because that's going to take up a lot of this, a lot of this length, and I want to make sure that I don't chop it all up before I have cut it. So let's get a good edge here. Might be smart to press this first. Yeah, there's kind of a big wrinkle in there, but meh. We're gonna wing it. I'm skipping the pressing. There, cut this edge. Yeah, there we go. Now I have the bottom lined up on a line again. Trim the edge. We're gonna go a hair late tonight, but I do want to get all this, I would love to get all these cut. So once we get going here, it won't be too long. So this is 4 inches. This is the handle. 4 inch by 32. All right. And 32.5 is 16, so I just need to measure a piece that's 16 inches this way. Actually, I think I can do it right on here. So I'm going to just measure up to 16 on my ruler here and put that on the fold. All right, putting this on a nice straight edge. Trying to match up the bottom again there. And the 16-inch cut. So I will have, you know, this much extra, but I'm still glad I cut this piece first. So there we are. Little extras. And here is our 32-inch. Oh, look how pretty that is. Oh, these are going to be the prettiest handles ever. Look at it all folded up. Ah, it's going to be so nice. All right, I'm excited. So this is the handles. Let's give that a label. A little piece of paper. Aw. Got to see what every kitty is. Handles. And a wonder clip. So if you guys are cutting with me, we're doing it right, I think. We got everything so far. So here we go, handles. Adding it to the pile. We still have this outer flap that I have laying out here. So I'm going to start checking these off. We did all of these already, and we did the handles. All right, next up. So now we have all those 10-inch ones. I wonder if there's an easy way to get that. I think, why don't we cut, like how we cut the 32-inch piece off, why don't we cut a 10-inch piece off, and then we can start cross-cutting from there. So let's line up these edges again. Oh, now it makes sense. You're caught up with me. Okay, that's good to hear, Amy. But that's always the scary part for me about cutting is like, oh, it's a whole new world, and how is it going to end up, and you know, am I doing it right, and all that. But you know, I think we got it now. All right, I'm gonna just smooth this out. We need the 10 inches. I don't think so. No interfacing in the handles. They are folded quite a bit though, so it's going to end up being like 4 layers worth, so that's probably plenty for the handles. All right, again, this just has a little crink in here, but we're going to leave it. I'm going to recut this edge, and then I will cut 10 inches here. Recutting the edge a little over here because my sewing machine's right here and I'm not going to have space for my ruler. So again, I'm lining the fold on the bottom here. And let's get a good straight edge again. Pretty confident that there'll be enough fabric to be able to just recut a little like this. So we're cutting 10 inches and then we're going to cross cut it in a lot of the different lengths that we needed. All right, 10 inches. Yes, they're pretty thick as is, but if you want a sturdier, you can certainly add interfacing or fleece. So there is a lot of, there's some fleece left over, so yeah, there might even be enough left over. So I don't know if you guys got that. Patty, who's the designer again here, she said that if you want, you can put some interfacing or fusible fleece in the handles later. We will get to that eventually here. All right, so 10 inches, 5, 10, and then we will cross cut this a whole bunch. All right, let's start doing that. So we need We need all sorts of different lengths from this. So I'm gonna unfold it all the way, because all of them are different pieces. So here's the 10-inch direction. So right now we have like a 10-inch by 42-inch piece. So let's align the edge nicely on the bottom. I'll cross-cut all the pieces, and then I'll label them again so we don't get too lost. All right. Straight edge, step number 1. Okay, so we need, the biggest piece is a 21-inch. Let's do that last. That'll be, we'll have enough left over, I think. So let's do a 6-inch. That's the shortest piece. Let's do the 6-inch first. I think this is a 6.5-inch ruler. I can just go here. All right, this is the 6-inch by 10-inch piece. Actually, I think we're going to label this as we go here. I keep misplacing the pattern. Here we go. All right, this is the 6-inch by 10-inch. That is the crayon divider. How cute. I know, I didn't press the fabric. It's bad. I think we're going to deal with it. There's enough seam allowance that I think we'll be fine. This is the crayon divider. All by himself, this little piece. Crayon divider. I'll make sure that I have all these pressed up and ready to go tomorrow for us, for sure. Okay, so that's done. That's done. Now let's do the 12-inch. All right. Throw that there. This is my 12-inch ruler. So I'm just aligning the edges so it's square. So 12-inch by 10-inch. Ooh, I think I might got a little off there. Nope, I think we're good. We're good enough. Yeah, I'm a little crooked, but that'll be okay. So this is the 12-inch by 10-inch. That is the 12-inch by 10. This is the pencil divider. And you know what? I think I am going to press before I get to the bigger, longer pieces. All right, I caved. I'm going to press. This is the pencil. The pencil divider. We are almost done though. A couple more cuts. Oh, good, Patricia. I'm glad it's helping. Yeah, there's all sorts of ways to cut, but I do like that double ruler bit. All right, so here is another piece. I think we're gonna have to cut another piece out of here. But yeah, let's give this an iron, just a pressing quickly. Oh, I'm freaking you guys out because I haven't pressed yet, so my things aren't square and I got all these wrinkles. I know. It's making the perfection radar tweak up a little bit, right? I kind of like that. Sometimes I like to see how much I can get away with before I have to do the thing to make it look nice. So we made it that far, right? All right, I gotta press that piece just a hair more. I think my iron is just, I'm actually not quite sure my iron is completely awake. All right, so now we need a 14-inch and a 21-inch. I think I can get the 21-inch out of here. So why don't we do that? Let's do the 21-inch. I'm gonna have to cut a new one anyway to get the, well, let's see, 14 and 16 is 30. Oh yeah, I might be able to get, well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna get the 21-inch out of here regardless. Yeah, so I'll cut this nice and square again now that it's pressed. There we are. See, not square anymore. And now the pattern will be a hair better too now. It's gonna be close. All right, 21 inches. So let's do that with the big ruler again. Mark it 21. Gotta scooch my machine a little bit out of the way. "21 inches. Let's get it square with the bottom. All right, and then I will put that second ruler right on the end there, and we'll have this little scrap here. All right, I think we'll just trim on that, and we should be good. All right. Little scrap piece left over. And here we go. So this is the 21-inch piece, which is the paper pad holder. Oh, cool. So this will probably go like this, and then the paper pad will go in there. So paper pad holder. Fold that up. Yeah, without labeling, I would have never known what these were again. Paper pad holder. Well, I would. It just would have taken a little bit longer, a little bit more brain power, and who likes using their brain when they're trying to figure out sewing stuff? All right. That guy, let's put him on the pile. And then we just need our 14-inch. We need these three guys yet. So we have this big piece yet. Let's see how much do we have left of this? I wonder if I can cross cut it this way so I don't have to cut another super long piece. So let's give this a press, because this is a little bit more wrinkly on this side. So this one for sure will give a little press. Then I think we can get them all out of just a little more of this fabric. Wow, we are going to have so much of this fabric left. So that's awesome. There's definitely room for mistakes, it looks like, with cutting. You never know, right? You never know when you start a pattern if the designer gave you enough to have extra in case you made a mistake, or if it's just using every tiny little bit of fabric. So that's what makes me nervous, I guess. But nope, we had plenty of fabric, which is awesome for this. Okay, we need a 14 by 10-inch piece. I think we can get a 14 out of here easy. And then we need 2 8-inch by 5-inch pieces. I'm going to just start, I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to cross cut 10 inches out of here for my 14 by 10. All right. Oops. Man, a large area for cutting, that'd be a good idea. This is fun. Like, I like working in my little space here when it's sewing, and you know, I don't have to move a lot, and I got my little rotating cutting mat and all that. But yeah, when it comes to cutting these big pieces out, one giant area would be nice. In your book, a sign of a great designer is when they didn't freak me out by having no fabric left over, that they instead have enough fabric. Yeah, I agree. I like in designs when they think about the fact that I might mess up and might need to cut another piece of fabric. All right, I'm going to cheat and just use the ruler as a guide again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My mom would be mad at me. Can I get 8 out of here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. So I need 2 8x5. So I'm going to just cut another 5 inches off of this, and I'll have my 8s right away too. So I have to cross cut this to 14. So let's just do 7 inches here. I think I'm going to cheat again and just use the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could save maybe a little bit more fabric by opening it up and cutting it, but I'm still saving this fabric. I'll just use it for something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is my 14 by 10 inch piece. All right, these are scraps. We're gonna have a lot of fun scraps afterwards. All right, so there we go. 10 inches by 14. There we go. This is so beautiful, this fabric. 10 by 14, that is the pouch mane. Pouch mane. So the pouch mane, that's going to be this big area here. So it has the little flap, but then the big main pouch. There's a lot of storage in this thing. Pouch mane. All right, and then I'm going to cut 5 more inches out of here while it's still nice and square, and then I'll cross cut it to my 2 8s. Again, I'm just going to use the cutting mat for my 5 inches. 1 of your 5. My mom would say, never use the cutting mat ruler marks. Use your rulers, it's more accurate, but oh well. We're doing it this way. All right, so I'm gonna trim this, and then we'll cut 8 inches out of here, and that's that. That is it for cutting. And this, we can use our little outer flap as a guide again. So I don't even need to measure. Actually, I'm just gonna count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's double check. So this is the outer flap piece here. Yep, still looks like the right length. 8 inches is still 8 inches. And there we go. So here are our 2 8-inch by 5-inch pieces. Oh my God, this is so pretty. I love this, kind of the red and pink and orange together. And this I can attach with my outer flap. And you guys, oh wait, there is one more thing. This is it for the fabric, but there are 2 more things to cut. We have our little elastic piece, and we have our Velcro. So cut the 8-inch piece of elastic in half, 2 pieces, and cut the 10-inch pieces in half for 2 5 pieces. So let's just plop this, just cut them both at once. I'm going to just kind of put the in between two things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's actually 10 inches of this too. I'm just going to divide them in half and I can trim them. I don't know, I suppose we should get it exact. Fine, we'll do them individually. Ah! See, now the perfection is kicking in. I'm going to trim it. Oh man, I'm getting too crazy. Let's just divide them in half. I was going to cut them to perfect exact sizes, but I don't think I need it. I'm going to just split them in half here. So right down there. And I can trim them to be perfect later. Aha! There we go. So those are our last two bits. So here we are, guys. Oh, well, see, look, there's so much of this fabric left over too. I mean, I could make a whole other quilt out of there too. So there we are, a bunch of perfect scraps. Yeah, we have lots of extras. So here we are, guys. We are done cutting. So let's go over it again. We have our two pieces here, and yeah, we'll trim these down to the actual size once we get there. But we have plenty there. We have the pouch main. Let's just kind of peek at all these things again. The pouch main. That's, you know what would be fun? We'll do that later. I was gonna say we could lay them all out kind of where they'll sit, but we'll do that next. So the pouch main, that's gonna be this little area here is, I'm guessing on this, but that's gonna be this area here. The outer flap, got that pretty flap here. Oh, and that's got the fusible fleece with it. The paper pad holder, so that'll be right in the middle here. This will slip in, but there's this big piece of that extra color there, the color number 2. The pencil divider, right there. Crayon divider, tucked up there, so cute. Okay, whenever I start touching the fabric and cutting it though, I get way more excited about the fabric. I'm totally in love. The handles, this is that super long piece, and then back to the grasshoppers, the pouch flap, that'll be this smaller flap on the inside. And then the main panels, the front and the back. So it's this whole outside piece and then this piece on the inside. And that we had all the extra bits as well. So that's it, guys. We have our start. We are all cut out. We are done with this section on it. And tomorrow we'll start assembling. It looks like we'll be making the handles right away. So that's kind of fun. So, all right. Oh, and we'll be fusing our fleece to the main panels. Oh, that's kind of exciting. I've never done that before. So that'll be neat. Learning new things, new tips and tricks, playing with new ideas. I'm pretty excited. So, all right, guys, I'm going to flip you around and we will call it an evening. All right, so thanks again, guys, for coming in, and it was so nice having Patty here, too. Patty is the designer of the Travel Art Folio, Patty Young from Modkid. And again, this pattern, the PDF pattern, is in the description below here, so you can check there and link. And feel free to watch this video again if you need some help with the cutting. I know I was so nervous at the beginning for cutting. Cutting is my scariest bit for me of all the projects, but yeah, once we got going, easy peasy. Just keeping it all in order, keeping it labeled. I think we're ready to go for tomorrow. So we'll be continuing this project till we finish it. I'm not sure how long that's gonna be. I am gonna be out of town next week in the middle, so we may have to pick this up when I get back, but we'll see how it goes. If you want to watch this again, it'll be here on the Penguin and Fish Facebook page, and I will also have it on my YouTube channel at Penguin and Fish Movies. So thanks, guys, again. Be sure to grab your pattern, and I will see you tomorrow. We will start the assembly process. So have a great night, guys. I will catch you later. Good night.